Hello fellow followers, drummers and music lovers, welcome to this video. As a very lucky EVANS drumheads endorser, I've been provided some free sample of new products so I can try them here in the studio. The new product on which we are going to focus on today is this one, the HD dry drumheads for toms. So these are drumheads of 2 plies, 5mm and 7mm if I'm correct, no 7.5mm, and these are coated drumhead with a control ring for your overtone and also the dry vents. So this is something that EVANS was doing on snare heads for quite a while, so you can control the overtone of your snare, and now they have made the same thing for toms, but you also have the control ring to control the overtone. So these are supposed to produce a very dry tone on the toms. So I'm pretty sure this can be very useful in a lot of different kind of music. Question is this great for extreme metal? Well, we are gonna find out, because I'm gonna compare this to the black chrome drum heads that I have currently on this drum kit. I absolutely love the black chrome because I can tune them very low, have some sustain, some attack, they look great, so I always choose black chrome for every drum kit that I am playing for quite a while now. So I'm gonna play some drum solo, extreme metal stuff, linear fills also, so we can hear how this is sounding. I'm gonna try to play quite fast so we can hear how articulate the sound is with the black chrome and then with the HD dry. After some drums solo demo, I'm gonna play within a song so you can actually hear how these drum heads sound within a song. So it's going to be absolutely zero processing on what you are going to hear, and the song I'm going to play is an aborted song because, well, I'm just back from a tour with them, so this is quite fresh in my mind, so let's go for that. Already, but this is for the toms. I've also been provided this one. This is a UV1 reverse dot coated drum head for snare. So I have a brass snare currently set up on the drum kit with a power center coated drum head. So it's a single ply with the reinforcement dot on the center. This is exactly the same, except that this has received a UV treatment so the coated surface can last longer. It's not supposed to change the sound, so if I have the same tuning, we should have a very near sound between the two drum heads. But we never know. We're going to make a test and see if the UV treatments make a change also in the tone. So first of all, let's hear this drum kit with the black chrome and the power center coated drum head on the brass snare, drum solo, and then the aborted song. Alright, so now I'm gonna set up the HD dry on toms and the UV1 on the snare, and we are gonna be able to hear a comparison with the black chrome. So again, it's gonna be drum solo and then the aborted song. One of the things that I have noticed changing the drumhead is how easy the tuning is with the HD dry. With the black chrome, it's not super complicated, but for example on the 14-inch floor tom, I do spend some time to avoid any extra overtone, and it's kind of the same thing with the 12-inch rack tom. With the HD dry though, it was extremely easy, so these drumheads might be the easiest drumheads on the market to tune. Straight away, the tone was great, and no matter what kind of pitch I was trying while tuning them, it was always okay. No insane overtone going on and rumbling sound or anything like that, or when happening it was still pretty quiet. So in my opinion, one of the first thing that we need to say about the HD dry drumheads is that they are extremely easy to use. If you need a more side-by-side comparison, here we go. Then, what is my verdict on the HD drive for toms? Well, before I recorded my demo, I have watched some demo where the sound of the HD drive was very dry. In the end, compared to the black chrome, the sustain is slightly shorter and the sound is a little bit more articulate. And this is great when you want to play double strokes over toms. In this demo, I haven't used any double strokes fills using the black chrome because I definitely prefer my single strokes over the black chrome. But with the HD drive, I just felt that the double strokes were working fairly well, so that's definitely because they provide a more articulate sound. Then the difference between the black chrome and the HD dry is something you would expect going from a clear drum head to a coated drum head. The HD dry are a little bit warmer and they have slightly less attack on the very high frequencies, something like 8 kHz or 10 kHz. They do provide a very great tone on the bigger toms. I felt that my 14-inch floor tom was sounding incredibly well with the HD dry, and again, the tuning with the HD dry is very easy. So if you have a drum kit that is very hard to tune, or if you don't have a very high-end drum kit, I would 100% recommend the HD dry. My personal taste is still going to the black chrome because I like the attack that they are providing on the very high frequencies, and I kind of missed that with the HD dry. Then about the durability, now at the moment that I'm talking, I have used this HD drive to record 2 albums in fact, and they were still providing insane sound quality after 2 albums being tracked with them. So they are very durable and very reliable, and I do like them, and I will still have some set of HD dry here in the studio in case I want them for a record. But now, if EVANS could make a clear version of this HD dry, or even better, a black chrome version of this HD dry, these would definitely be my favorite drum heads ever. So yeah, these HD dry, they are doing a really nice job, and I can just only recommend them just already because they are so easy to use, durable, and they provide a great tone. And then if you also want a very articulate tone, just go for them. They are just insane. To talk a little bit about snare drum head, I did prefer the UV1 version of the reverse dot because it seems that this drum head is providing a little bit more low end, more attack, and the overtone are there if you need them, but probably a little bit more controlled. Talking about snare drum head now, the HD dry, these drum heads were made for snare drum in the first place, and I have to confess that I never tried them. So this is what I'm going to do right now. Considering how easy they were to tune on the toms, I'm going to try the HD dry on my Pearl Reference Pure in order to reach a very low tuning. At the moment, I have an EVANS heavyweight on this snare drum that I am using at the studio to have a very low tuning these days. Something around 180 Hz, maybe 190 Hz sometime. And with this kind of low tuning, I kind of struggle sometimes with overtone, and I'm going to check if the HD dry is making my life easier with this low tuning. Then I'm also going to try to increase a little bit the pitch of the snare, see what is happening. And what you are going to hear on the toms are the HD dry drum head, but once they have done 2 recording and also with a higher tuning. So you will be able to hear what kind of tone you can still reach with these drum heads with a higher tuning and with a lot of playing on them. Let's go. Alright, the conclusion on the HD dry on snare, well, it's a really great drumhead, and if you want to achieve a low tuning, it's probably the best choice you can make. The dry vents are doing a great job, and the muffle ring is also doing a great job to control the overtones. So at a low tuning on the snare, you have a fat sound with a lot of attack, and the overtone are definitely not out of control. Now, the only complaint I have with the dry vent on the snare drum head is that then you cannot use a pipe to blow air into your snare drum in order to pitch it while playing. And this is why, in fact, I never used a lot of this kind of drum head on a snare drum. So if you want to learn more about this trick, you have a link in the video description and you can follow it. Alright, so I hope you like this video and that this is giving you some good insight to know if the HD dry for toms are made for you or not. It's definitely very innovative from EVANS to have the dry vents on the toms. It's a one-of-a-kind tone, and it can definitely be very useful in different kind of situation. Anyway, if you like this video, please leave a thumb up, a comment, and you can also share it. This is helping me a lot. And until next time, take care. Cheers.